Every single Halo campaign before release undergoes many changes. Today we're going to be diving in and looking at the coolest cut levels in Halo. Halo 1 went through so many different changes, it's almost completely unrecognizable from its first iteration. There's probably a whole other campaign planned out, but we do have information on 2 cut levels. The first being called Alpha Base. This mission takes place directly after Truth and Reconciliation. Starts out with a cutscene showing Master Chief and Captain Keyes return to Alpha Base in the Spirit that they stole. The Spirit lands on the base's landing pad, then Captain Keyes explains the purpose of Installation 04. This mission ended up being cut and turned into the cutscene when you rescue Captain Keyes. Another level discussed for Halo Combat Evolved was a volcano level in December of 2000. It involved volcanoes and heavy machinery, and that's pretty much all we know of that level. Now for Halo 2, this is where it gets really interesting, because Halo 2 had an entire section cut off of it to become Halo 3. So the first mission we're going to look at is the Covenant ship mission. This mission would take place immediately after Cairo Station. After opening the airlock at the Cairo Station's docking bay, the player would be blasted towards the Covenant ship, and Master Chief would board the carrier with a team of ODSTs. In this level, you would infiltrate the Covenant ship, taking on and killing its crew, and then eventually stealing a Wraith and destroying the ship, bombarding its power core with the Wraith's mortars. This level ended up being cut due to time constraints and replaced by the cutscene, which is like one of the most iconic cutscenes in all of Halo, so honestly, I'm kind of glad that they made this decision. The next level is the infamous Forerunner tank level. The purpose of this level was to tie in the plot between Regret and Quarantine Zone. Right when the Arbiter gets pushed down the index chamber by Tartar Sauce, he would meet Master Chief and talk to the Gravemind. This level would have been Master Chief's adventure through the bottom of Delta Halo. The Gravemind's tentacles were going to slam down all around the player and move behind doors like quote-unquote racing freight trains. We don't really know much about this level other than Jason Jones saying that this would have been awesome. Alpha Moon. This level was set to take place on the now destroyed Alpha Halo's moon. So the moon of the Halo that you destroyed in Halo 1 is where this level would take place. And this level would seem to have the same story goal as the Oracle from the final game. But instead of taking place on the gas mine, it would have taken place in a heretic camp on Alpha Moon, which is really cool. I would say about a year ago or so, we were actually shown footage of Alpha Moon, which will actually be playable sometime in the future when it gets restored, along with the E3 2003 demo. Now I'm not going to discuss too much of the demo because we all know about that. We all want more Earth in Halo 2, but we didn't get that unfortunately, so we're just going to have to wait until they restore that for MCC. Earth Arc was given to the name of the final 3 missions of Halo 2, which was the game's original ending that got cut for time constraints, but later down the line used for inspiration for Halo 3. Now we don't know exactly what would have happened at this part of the story, kind of the same gist of what happens in Halo 3, because Sergeant Johnson, Miranda, and the Arbiter at the end of Halo 2 were already looking to go to the Ark, so that just would have been a continuation of Halo 2. I'm glad they cut that because Halo 3 is like one of the best games of all time. The cut Warthog run. Yes, there was supposed to be a Warthog run, and yes, I am so mad about that because there would have been a Warthog run for every game of the trilogy, and that would have been perfect. A Warthog run for every single game, like that's awesome. But people were actually able to restore the Warthog run that was in High Charity, and it's actually playable. This Warthog run would have taken place right at the end. Instead of the cutscene of Master Chief flying to the Forerunner ship, you would have to drive the Warthog there, which would have been so cool. Now for Halo 3, there are also a couple levels. We're going to be checking out the Flood ship level first. The Flood ship level was supposed to be set directly after Floodgate, and it would be taking place in the crashed ship in Void. The original objective of the level was to detonate the ship's reactor and escape, but due to time constraints and other development issues, a lot of this was cut and turned into the final version of Cortana, and also just got tacked on to the end of Floodgate. In the final game, you could actually hear Miranda Keyes say,
"Find the crashed flood ship. Overload its engine core."
So that was like a little mess up. That was a little piece of dialogue that was supposed to be taken out of the game because you don't actually overload its engine. Guardian Forest was a cut level that was supposed to take place between the Ark and the Covenant. It would be set on the Ark in a massive forest, and you would come across a new enemy, the Guardian, which would be a massive boss fight. And this boss fight was actually restored by modders. Being able to see what this could have looked like back in the day is actually really awesome. Alpine. Alpine is a cut mission in Halo 3 that takes place in a big forest with Forerunner structures. Sound familiar? Because it is. This level set up most of the structure that became the Covenant. This was basically just set to be a big forest level, so that's where a lot of the inspiration came from, was the original idea of Alpine. Forerunner City. Now this level was supposed to be an overgrown Forerunner City that was eventually just cut down and mixed into Alpine to become the level of the Covenant. We don't really know much of exactly what the city would have looked or how it would have played out in the campaign, but we do know that it was combined with Alpine to become become the Covenant. Now for Halo 3 ODST, there wasn't really cut levels because Halo 3 ODST was mainly just built as an apology for Halo 2 fans that were disappointed by its launch. There wasn't really that much of Earth in Halo 2, so Halo 3 ODST had to compensate for that. Now for Halo Reach, I didn't really find much other than the fact that there was supposed to be some sort of boat level. We don't know what the boat level was exactly supposed to be or what storyline it was supposed to follow, but all we know was that there was a cut vehicle and there was supposed to be water physics with boats, but there was supposed to be a level with a boat in it. That's all we know. And that would have been really cool because Halo hasn't had any water vehicles in its whole lifetime. Now for Halo 4, I wasn't able to find any information on any cut levels for Halo 4 other than just cut mission structures, like different layouts for different areas. Like on Requiem, it looks almost completely unrecognizable. But other than that, that's pretty much it for Halo 4. Now in Halo 5, there was set to be a UNSC Infinity hub. So it was going to be like a weapons down kind of mission that Halo 5 had going for it, but in the UNSC Infinity. Instead of walking around on random planets for the weapons down missions, they could have you walk around on the UNSC Infinity and maybe people wouldn't have been so mad. There would have been a barracks room, an armory, and a central hub. I wonder how that would have worked in Halo 5. People probably would have hated it the same anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. The final level for Halo 5 we're going to be looking at is Tsunami Station. This level in the final game would be named Battle of Sinayon. Early drafts of the level had the mission split into two levels, one focusing on Blue Team and the other on Fireteam Osiris. So basically just one level cut into two chunks, playing as both sides. And both of these levels would have had the Arbiter in them, which makes me so mad. Master Chief and the Arbiter could have had their reunion, not in a cutscene. We could have played with the Arbiter as Master Chief for the first time in so long. But no, we get a cutscene instead. Over 2/3 of the original plan for Halo Infinite was completely cut. We lost out on so much content. Imagine like coming across the UNSC Infinity while you're exploring the Halo ring, and then you get into a massive boss fight with a Scarab. Like there was so much planned. There was an uncountable number of things cut from this game. Enemies, weapons, wildlife. We would have had wildlife, and I couldn't find any specifics on storyline details that were cut or changed or anything, but there is tons of concept art that can feed the ideas of different things that could have been in the game. Like for example, the crashed Infinity, the desert landscapes, or the snow landscapes. Who knows what Halo Infinite's cut levels would have looked like? There's probably a dozen of them. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video deep diving into all of the cut levels in Halo. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new around here. Thank you so much for all the support on my last video. I've never had a video blow up like that ever in my life. Thank you so much. We hit 1,000 subscribers overnight. It is unreal. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.